And we're back. You're listening to the 2018 Chicagoland Grand Scrim here on WLQX 88.1 FM Downers Grove and CLQA 88.3 FM Ottawa. Mark Agnew and Renee Roccasalva broadcasting live from Chicagoland, filling you all in on the action. Game 2 set in stone, and the gap between two on down is widening. Here are the scores. Phoenix pulls out the win with 2,912 points. Impressive showing by Loser, who took last pack and got 450 points for the Rejects. Akron Stuffed-Tigers not far behind, though, with 2,750 points. Wolverine and Psycho earned top spots again despite working solo. Mojo had a stellar game for the DG Hydras, earning 501 points, but unfortunately the Hydras couldn't make the most of it and fall to last place again with 2,017. Whitby Nex-Gen ended their game with an even 2,400 points, big improvement from Game 1. The top story coming out of Game 2 involves Nex-Gen's Plankton, who was helped out of the maze, sustaining injuries to his hands. For more on that, we turn to our sideline reporter, Jessica MacDonald. Jess, what do you have for us?
Nex-Gen's Captain Gurr stated that team doctors performed an x-ray on Plankton's hands. His right hand has regained movement and nothing is broken or bruised. Unfortunately, his left hand suffered a fracture of neck of the fifth metacarpal, also known as a boxer's fracture. A finger splint has been applied with buddy tape around the affected area. In addition, Plankton's arm is on a sling, which will be tucked inside his vest to prevent unintentional covering of the sensor.
Any word from Plankton himself?
Although in obvious pain, Plankton was moved by the encouragement of his teammates and looked eager to get back into the next game. He said, "Once the adrenaline kicks in, I'll be all right." Nonetheless, former tournament player and trained EMT Paul Zethpar, also known as Tact, has graciously volunteered to be a player marshal. Tact is being assigned to exclusively hover around Plankton's area of play and make a judgment call on if he can continue playing. Tact has been granted no other authority than that, and players have been advised of this as well. Mark, Renee, back to you.
Thanks, Jess. Renee, biggest takeaways from Game 2?
Heartbreak for Whitby, and just when they were starting to trend upward, too. Whitby started off strong here as well and maintained it longer with a 400-point improvement. Still, even with Plankton healthy, they needed to improve even more to bridge the gap. Like the DG Hydras, climbing back into the thick of it now looks impossible.
Reviewing individual scores, no players really had a breakaway game, have they?
Now that's surprising, and Phoenix is the happiest team right now for that very reason. The Rejects have prevented the Stuffed-Tigers from reaching their peak. Akron was predicted to have a higher ceiling than the other teams. Wolverine and Psycho have each placed top of the table, but not by much, as Invalid and Vanquisher are hanging right there with them. Phoenix hopes that it'll stay that way because Wolverine and Psycho are amongst the best 1-2 punches in the game when they are side by side.
Rejects were scouted as being the most well-rounded team in this competition. No real weaknesses, but no real X factor either.
Oh, you're wrong, Mark. That X factor came from Whitby's Clueless, whose play has stymied Psycho's ability to score en masse in cramped spaces, particularly the towers. That lack of tower control has held back Genger's ability to cover the floor and capitalize on weaker players. Human Wizard and 10 Letters have bumped into Phoenix's strong side no matter where they've gone. It's all connected, so I'm eager to see how head coach Swizzlestick will position the Stuffed Tigers these next 2 games. Big props to Ginger Kid for how he's coached the Rejects so far.
Pause for station ID and quick commercial break. You're listening to the 2018 Chicagoland Grand Scrim here on WLQX 88.1 FM Downers Grove and CLQA 88.3 FM Ottawa.
You're listening to WLQX 88.1 FM Downers Grove and CLQA 88.3 FM Ottawa, Laser Quest Premier radio station. Tag it up.
When the traction delays the action, reach for Big Richards. That's right, Big Richards Condoms, proudly providing coverage for the 2018 Chicagoland Grand Scrim. They are the only 5-star rated puncture-proof prophylactic produced right here in America's heartland. So when your lover asks for the cover, reach for Big Richards.
And by your conference tournament champions, the Bradley University Braves. Men's basketball tips off against IUPUI Saturday, November 9th. Single game, group, and season tickets still available through Ticketmaster or at the Carver Arena box office. Call 309-677-2625. That's 309-677-2625. Or Bradley Ticket Office at bradley.edu. That's Bradley Ticket Office at bradley.edu. Be brave, be you.
We are 60 seconds away till game time. Plankton the first to enter the maze. Crowd applauding to show their support, followed by Tack and the remaining members of Nex-Gen. Marshals are spreading out evenly along the floor. DG Hydras and Akron enter side by side with the rejects anchoring close behind them.
Big change already. Akron's mirroring the movements of the DG Hydras with Whitby at the corner of their eye. Swizzle Sticks definitely dialing up an interesting formation here as every Akron player has their backs turned to the rejects. Phoenix doesn't know what to make of it.
Quick check-in with Jessica MacDonald. Jess, what do you have for us?
Hypnotilt approached the marshals. He motioned to his laser, complaining of a worn RJ cable tangling up in front of the pack. The replacement is being put in.
That explains why the rejects were last in. Phoenix hasn't caught wind of where the Hydras and Nex-Gen are.
Akron's now changed their formation, pulling a 180 facing the rejects.
Brilliant plan. Akron's blocking Phoenix from the Hydras and Nex-Gen. The Stuffed-Tigers are forcing a head-on battle with the rejects on the floor, knowing that it'll take extra time for the rejects to take a tower at this point.
Bright lights, let's fight. Phoenix storms at Akron's line, and every player goes down except Gengar, who sniffed out players hiding under Tower 3. Captain Power sneaks past Gengar, though, and enters into that tower, eyeing Phoenix from the distance. Mojo gets a quick tag on Gur and tries to slip through both lines, but Cosmic spots him and starts chasing him down with his pack ready to perk up any second.
Akron's trying to push the Hydras and Nex-Gen towards Tower 3. Mojo picked up on the plan, but it doesn't look like Phoenix will allow him to break free, since Phoenix is trying to push Akron into that same area and pick off everybody from mid-range.
Gengar darts towards the vacant corner, spots reinforcements along the way, tries to get a quick tag, but gets caught by Mama Hydra, firing from behind him, and down he goes. Clueless enters through the walkway, but doesn't see Mama Hydra. Hydra turns around, but Onyx jets at his flank just in time and picks him off. Meanwhile, Vanquisher's firing from a distance into the walkway to get reinforcements. Human Wizard somehow dances between the volley of laser fire and takes down reinforcements for himself. Joins Gengar under Tower 3, who's taking a corner spot now, and nobody's marking him.
Akron's pit side has positioned itself beautifully against the DG Hydras. Gunning after reinforcements triggered Mama Hydra to come to the aid of his brother. Mojo's at the opposite end of the maze, trying to draw both Akron and Phoenix away from the tower and into the open floor. So far, Cosmic's been the only player to bite.
DG Hydra's monocle spots Nex-Gen's Plankton limping into Tower 2, grabs a quick tag from the floor. He motions Lightbringer to follow him. Gur's heading the same way. He turns the corner, bumping into Lightbringer. Akron's Psycho pops out, towering over both players, hits each of their shoulders. 20 points for the Tigers. Mojo's not able to shake off Cosmic as they trade tags again. Captain Power's secure in Tower 3, firing from across the maze, but can't manage to tag anybody.
Captain Powers realized that he has a great position, but the floor action is mopping up any points he could get for Whitby. Phoenix is too far out and entrenched in Tower 1 to tag them, and Akron's already embedded underneath the tower he's in.
Quick sideline update, Jess, what's the scoop?
8 minutes left in the game. Akron's pulled to a commanding lead with 527 points. DG Hydras in second with 325 points, but Mama Hydra is accounting for half of those points. Whitby and Phoenix just passed 215 points, each with little action coming from their sides. Ramps are cramping near Tower 2. Guys?
Thanks, Jess, and right you are about that. Mojo finally shakes off Cosmic and ascends the opposite ramp, where it runs into Wolverine staked into position, and down he goes. Back underneath Tower 3, Akron's Gengar and Wizard giving Mama Hydra a lot to think about despite the stalemate. Reinforcements looking to get away, but Clueless blocks the north walkway and grabs a quick pot shot. Mama Hydra makes a dig for the corner spot, trading tags with Gengar. He loses his balance, though, getting too close before catching himself along a wall.
Marshall's issued a warning to Mama Hydra for distance. He's sweating bullets already, and this is playing right into Akron's hands. Mama Hydra is the only threat to Akron in this spot, but if his conditioning wears off, Gengar and Wizard can beat him and, more importantly, beat him to the points around.
Monocle joins Plankton in Tower 2 with Lightbringer guarding the east ramp looking down. Plankton extends an inverted arm but can't manage to get the shot off. Monocle bends his knees and paints his front for a quick tag. Mojo wiggles past Wolverine, joining Monocle in Tower 2. Looks surprised to find him there. He jets the opposite ramp right to left and finds Lightbringer there as well.
Tower 2 is cramping up. 3 Hydras are in close proximity to Akron's strongest player, eager to carve out a corner for himself. And remember, Tack's in that Tower 2, hovering around Plankton. Gur and Psycho vying for control of the right ramp.
Psycho gets the high ground. Gur does a one-arm dig on his front. Psycho twists too far to avoid, leaves his back exposed, and Gur takes the tag. Lightbringer engages Psycho, who's already down, doesn't spot Gur yet. Gur retreats to cover, pops his laser from behind a wall, and it's lights out for Lightbringer, and another 10 points for the Whitby team captain. Hypnotoad's motioning Vanquisher to head up to the half ramp at Tower 1. Toad storms up the opposite ramp at Tower 2, left to right. He's making quite a lot of noise. Wolverine hears him, lays down burst fire through an opening, but somehow Toad's pack's still up. Wolverine can't see him now, so he gallops down to the half ramp to meet Toad, but Vanquisher blasts him from 20 yards out, and down he goes. Emblem's caught up with Cosmic and yells at him to head underneath Tower 3. 10 letters can't see him, but he hears him. He fires around and makes the tag on Invalid. 10 points for the Tigers.
I don't think he realized that he tagged Invalid, because 10 letters is backpedaling to an opposite unguarded ramp in Tower 1.
I think you're right about that. Letters is firing from a distance towards the floor of Tower 3, trying to draw out the melee within. The confused human wizard pops out. Captain Power takes a shot at his shoulders from above, and Wizard's pack is down. He fires again from across the maze. 10 letters shifts to avoid, but not in time, and another 10 points go to Whitby.
Human Wizard and 10 letters pointing fingers at one another after that miscue at the opposite end of the maze. Meanwhile, Phoenix is trying to stop Akron from securing a foothold in Tower 2, but they seem tentative about committing more players up close, opting instead to pot shot from a distance. A bait ball is forming up in Tower 2 with DG Hydras at the center of it, the boss directing them to get out of there, but both ramps are cut off in addition to the laser fire suppressing them further in.
Speaking of the Hydras, Mojo darts down the west ramp right to left. He distracts Wolverine, letting Toad get a tag on his opposite shoulder, not before plowing a few shots off himself on Toad, and down he goes. Mojo's rolling down the ramps now, and Blid doesn't pick him up. More shots follow behind the ramp wall, and the Hydras get some breathing room along with another 10 points. Meanwhile, Mama Hydra and reinforcements still under Tower 3 trying to stave off Gengar and Clueless, but can't get it done. Reinforcements getting lit up badly despite his brother's best efforts.
Hydra's head coach, the boss, has had enough. She is calling on her team captain to leave Tower 3 and try to create something elsewhere. Reinforcements is getting a baptism through fire here with some of Quest's up-and-coming players.
Gengar's passing up on both Clueless and reinforcements to tail Mama Hydra. Surprise move for you, Renee?
It is at first glance, Mark, but take a closer look. Phoenix isn't in that area at all. While players prefer to not pass up points, DG and Whitby are essentially out of it, so Gengar can just let Clueless and reinforcements trade tags at this point. Even from the moment both Gengar and Human Wizard spotted Mama Hydra in Tower 3, one of these guys would be picking him up since he has a knack for playing spoiler. With Human Wizard out of that area, Gengar's passing up points for himself to neutralize the bigger threat.
Loser exits from underneath Tower 1 and double times it up to Tower 2. Wolverine stops him at the base of the ramp, but not before Vanquisher gets a shot on Wolverine's shoulder again. Man down, 10 points for the rejects. Loser motions Hypnotoad to ignore Wolverine and get into the thick of the cluster building in Tower 2. Toad takes the top ramp corner, down goes Monocle. Toad pushes further into the fray, down goes Lightbringer. Plankton sniffed him out, buries himself in the opposite corner. Psycho's still on the ramp trading shots with Gurr. Toad reaches over the wall trying to get Psycho's shoulders, but Gurr's firing at his shoulders as well.
Psycho's getting canceled out. Toad and Gurr are each firing from an overwatch position. They can't see each other or their laser fire.
And Psycho gets the tag on Gurr. Gurr's beside himself. Plankton steps out of his corner. Psycho turns towards Hypnotoad. Toad spins away to avoid the shot and crashes right into Plankton. Attack's waving his arms. He's calling it. Plankton's had enough. Toad's holstering his laser. Tack's directing him to take Plankton's pack off and help him to his feet.
A marshal's arriving to deter players from tagging the vacant pack and make a way for Plankton to be escorted to the airlock. With Psycho and Gurr closer to tower top, both players have been told to go into the tower until Plankton's clear. Gurr's not happy about that, knowing that he'll have to face Hypnotoad and Psycho head-on in that tower, as opposed to picking off players from mid-range.
Psycho reaches high for Toad's shoulders, and Toad goes down, trying to put up a fight, but still shaken up. Loser marches into Tower 2, pushing Wolverine along the way, and they trade tags. Both are fighting for that vital corner, but none are keen to budge. Action to the northeast floor of the maze. Onyx reaches at Mama Hydra's front. Mama Hydra looking worse for wear, gets tagged easily. Gengar spots Onyx and rushes at him. Onyx backpedals, but not in time. Pack down. Mama Hydra tries to slip away, but Gengar shadows him once again, and they trade tags.
Mama Hydra's flaccid lean teetered just within range of Gengar's inverted arm, and it wasn't a polished move on Gengar's part by any means. Usually when making a shot like that, you don't go on the move, but Gengar had to double time it to keep his mark on the Hydra's team captain.
Onyx back up again, gunning for Gengar, but Reinforcements gets a shot on his front, having managed to shake off Clueless. Clueless catching up to Reinforcements. Marshall warns both players to stop running as they each take a spot behind a maze wall. We got a sideline report from Jessica MacDonald. Jess, what do you have for us?
Plankton's on a maze now and being treated by Whitby's team doctors. 2 minutes left in the game. Akron remains ahead with 2,615 points. Phoenix struggling to keep up with 2,396. Whitby slow to follow with 2,172. DG Hydras falling further behind with 1,812 points. Action's picking up on the northeast floor. Guys?
Thanks, Jess. Invalids join the crowd massing in that area. He slips past reinforcements, targets his back, fires, and gets him. Onyx gets blasted by Invalid from 10 feet out as well. Onyx's focus was on Gengar. Gengar spots Invalid, but Cosmic comes out of nowhere and flanks Gengar before he can turn to face him. Here comes Mojo now, camping near the ramp entrance, allowing Mama Hydra to get some distance from the onrush. Mama Hydra hides just below Vanquisher, still entrenched on the half ramp of Tower 1. Hydra finds an opening near a ramp, fires at Vanquisher, and down he goes. Vanquisher descends from the half ramp to chase Mama Hydra away. Wolverine's pack is back up. Loser's down. Monocle's down. Lightbringer pins Wolverine back to the corner, but Lightbringer gets shot by Psycho, ascending to the opposite corner. Psycho attacks Gurrigan for good measure. Toad catches Psycho by surprise, but Wolverine gets the initiative and snipes him from the opposite side. Clean sweep by Akron, a Tiger Tower takeover.
With little time left, Phoenix can't catch up to Akron now. Wolverine and Psycho look poised to rake in points from within the tower and also snipe into the northeast area of the maze. Loser's positioning himself to wedge Psycho out of his corner so he and Toad can snipe from there instead. Unfortunately, this leaves only Lightbringer and Monocle to contest Wolverine, and the Hydras haven't found an answer to him so far.
No answer and no lights from either pack as Wolverine, with one swift stroke, swipes his laser and takes out the Hydras once again. Psycho's facing both Loser and Toad, lots of fire but no tags connecting. Loser stretches his laser, firing at will at Psycho's back. One shot's all it takes, back down. Wolverine presses up in an overwatch position, fires at Toad and connects. Loser ducks behind cover. Airlock lights are now flashing and both players opt to stay put.
Psycho and Wolverine finally connect in Tower 2, facing off against the team they need to beat, and they've succeeded. And with only a few seconds left, Loser can only distract Wolverine long enough for the Hydras to get away while Vanquisher tries to collect what's left by firing at their retreat.
And it's game over for the third game of this 4-round bout. The Stuffed-Tigers have given the Akron faithful a sensible lead. All smiles from head coach Stick too as the teams walk back to the airlock, catching their breath from the hard-fought bout. You have to wonder how conditioning will play into the final game of this Homegrown Scrim. We'll be back for the start of that and more, so keep it here on WLQX 88.1 FM Downers Grove and CLQA 88.3 FM Ottawa. You're listening to the 2018 Chicagoland Grand Scrim.